trust.
Hi, my name's Kalen, and it's nice to meet you today.
My name is Daniel.
My name's Andrew.
And to start, I'm not a particular great fan of the police with obviously the previous events that's occurred in the past. So my first question is going to be, what is the police going to do as a community to help the public feel more safe?
I can only speak for my own actions. So what I always try and do from my time on a Safer Neighbourhood team and on response is I always try and take the time to actually speak to people and engage to people. I've grown up in Waltham Forest, and the views on police there aren't particularly great. So all I try and do is just engage people, talk to them. I know not everyone has a good experience. You've stated that you've not particularly had a good experience, and I'm sorry that's happened to you.
I agree with a lot of what Daniel said. I think from a bigger picture, the organisation works very hard and it wants to engage with communities. Sometimes things don't go the way we would like them to go, but a lot of effort is put into wanting to engage with all communities to try and make them feel safe and make them part of policing, because policing is a responsibility for everyone, truthfully, whether you wear a uniform or not.
Okay, so Daniel, why did you decide to become a police officer?
One of the main reasons being is just you do a lot of different varied things, and it just keeps it a bit more interesting. The second would be the community engagement side. So although I'm now on a response team, so we spend our time just responding to calls, but I've done some time on a Safer Neighbourhood team. One of my favourite things to do there was just community engagement. So just always out and about with the community. You do very different things when you're on a Safer Neighbourhood team, and I think it's very undervalued. But just the idea of actually having someone visible, someone present, is reassuring to a lot of people.
Have you ever had a bad encounter with the police in any sort of way?
So can I ask how old you are?
I'm 13.
Okay, so my first experience with the police was at 11 years old. I was stopped and searched. I would then probably stopped and searched for the next 15 years of my life. So I fully understand your feelings towards the police. And I was not a fan of them. And actually, I've only been in the organisation just under 2 years. And part of me joining the organisation is actually for me to do that work. I want to change how I feel about the organisation. I want to try and help my own community. I've joined the company with quite a senior position where I can actually help influence and make change. And that is something that I'm extremely proud of. And I find myself 2 years on, I see policing very differently to how I saw it before I joined. And I think, yeah, that is it. So I think it's understandable of how you feel at this present moment in time, but a lot can be done to help try and change those mindsets. And with the likes of police officers like Daniel, the work is always there to help do that work.
In my early stages, I did see individuals not understanding communities. I felt very uncomfortable with the way stop and search was being done. That left a long-lasting effect on me. We've got amazing individuals within the police service. And once you can actually connect with those individuals, you can combine the uniform with that as well. Some of the things that I do, which I believe make a massive difference, is I treat people the way I want to be treated at all times. There's no barriers, to what you can achieve, The key thing is being yourself and being dedicated to people, Being dedicated to helping others, that's one of the key ingredients which you need to be a good police officer. And you need to be able to listen. So if you've got those skills, there's no stopping what you can do.
I understand that the police have had failures in the past. I would also say that you don't associate the uniform that that person was wearing when they may have not given you the best service to everyone. And I think it's always important to have those conversations and speak to individual police officers and potentially change their opinion they have.
My community don't have a problem with the law, they just have an issue with fairness, and I always ensure that I deal with people fairly, regardless of their background or where they come from. The favourite part about my job is the feeling I get from helping people, been able to impact them in a positive way, and also representing the black community growing up. I never saw any police officers that looked like me.
I haven't experienced, I would still call it racism, but it would be more microaggression. So one day I might come in with my afro out, the next day I might come in with braids and someone would be like, oh, your hair grew really quickly, or make a comment like that, which, you know, for me is definitely racism. I don't think it stopped me from doing anything or getting any further.
What moment did it click that it was what you wanted to do?
At the time, there's loads of issues in terms of race relation between the police and the black community. And I thought, you know, I needed to come in just to see if this is actually true. I'll see for myself, because there's loads of information in the media and, you know, in the community about how racist the police was. So I thought I'd just go in and check for myself. There are other times where the job itself hasn't been as pleasant, dealing with crime scenes. But there was a time when I encountered a guy who had a loaded revolver on him. I didn't know at the time that he had one. I detained him, and then 2 other officers came and helped. And when I searched his bag, there was a loaded revolver. His story was that he was actually waiting to give it to someone, which in my mind they were going to use that night. So someone maybe that night or the night after would have been a victim of gun crime.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. My name's Jeremiah, and this is Malachi.
Hello, nice to meet you too.
Where would I see your badge?
What, a police badge? Here you go. Right, see, this is a new one. The other one, once you opened it, you could see the picture. You want to touch it? And that's my picture there. And that, see, this bit here is for blind people. So it's called Braille. It says police, so they can read by touching the little dots. It's raised, so when they feel it, they know exactly, they know what they're reading as well. Just like when you read a book and you learn to read a book, you know what you're reading, but because they can't see words, they just feel, and that's how they read.
Why did you want to be a police?
One of the reasons I joined was to see if I can make a difference. There was a lot of things being said about the police when I joined, about how the police were bad, and I decided I'll join just to see for myself if it's actually true. And if there were things happening in the police, I'd see if I could make a difference by just educating people, because sometimes people make mistakes because they don't know if they're doing it right or wrong. But by me telling them and educating them about some of the things, different cultures, that could help them make different decisions.
Were there any negative reactions from your family and friends when you joined the police?
No negative reactions from my family, but some of my friends decided they didn't want to be my friends anymore when I joined the police. But that was good, because I found out who my real friends were, those who stayed. And as I say, 20 years on, they're still my friends, and they know what I do, they're comfortable with what I do. I did not want to be a police officer. I had no aspirations of becoming a police officer. And throughout my time as an athlete, my coach was saying, why don't you try the police? There was another athlete there as well who was a police officer. They're both retired now. And they kept talking about the police. And I thought, just give it a go. For the Commonwealth Games, it was Team England at the time, and the adrenaline I get when I'm on that start line, knowing that 7 other people want to finish before me, is just, I can't explain it. So I'm still competing in the GB Masters team, the world champion, world record holder in the hurdles. Athletics for me, in terms of what it's done for me, it's enabled me to be able to be resilient and focused. And I've used that ever since in my, throughout university and my role now.